So this dropped across the weekend, and I was not expecting to see this. And D's super chat is completely right. So thank you so much for that, D. Consider this part of the whole thing. Although definitely don't clip that because Tom spoke through it. Bloody
So I
Tom.
can't clip the thing I'm supposed to clip?
You can't on that one, no. You can't talk through the text speech. Anyway, so this dropped at the weekend. At the weekend? 3 days ago? Yeah, it's the weekend, isn't it? Sunday, Monday. Noah Hawley explains why Prometheus isn't useful for his Alien prequel. Now, you've got to read between the lines on this because he's asked some key things and he reveals some stuff which essentially just removes all of that from canon completely. He says some things which I feel like he's ever so slightly twisted his wording and he's not. So we'll get into it and I'll kind of point out what I mean. So basically, he was asked, where is it? So Hawley showed his understanding for the franchise by giving a rather perfect description of what Alien is really about. The thing with Alien is that it's not just a great monster movie, it's the story of humanity trapped between its primordial parasitic past and its AI future. And they're both trying to kill us. So there's nowhere to go. It's really a story of, does humanity deserve to survive? Does humanity's arrogance in thinking that we're no longer food and its arrogance in creating these AI beings who we think will do what we tell them, but ultimately might lose their mind? Is there a way out? There's a moment in the second film where Sigourney Weaver says, I don't know what species is worse. You don't see them screwing each other over for a percentage. I think there's something really intriguing about exploring humanity in all its goods and evils, and then trying to recreate for an audience those feelings you had in watching those first two films, which isn't easy in a franchise that has had 4 subsequent films and another coming out soon, Alien Romulus, but I think I have some tricks up my sleeve. So he was then asked about those 2 movies, those sort of, the prequels, basically. And he says, Ridley and I have, oh my God, stupid mouse. Ridley and I have talked about this and many, many elements of the show, because Ridley Scott is executive producer. Tom's pointed out that it's probably some weird rights retainer. For me, and for a lot of people, this perfect life form, as it was described in the first film, is the product of millions of years of evolution, and that created this creature that may have existed for a million years out there in space. The idea that on some level it was a bioweapon created half an hour ago, that's just inherently less useful to me. So that directly references the theory, concept, which is portrayed on screen that David made it, which would have been, not half an hour ago, but he made it pretty quickly, recreated a recipe, however you want to phrase it. He basically worked with it and created it, and that's what we've seen in one of the movies. And then it followed up with Alien, not that far off in the timeline. So it's directly referencing that. That's just inherently less useful to me. And in terms of the mythology, what's scary about this monster is that when you look at those first 2 movies, you have this retro-futuristic technology, you have giant computer monitors, these weird keyboards. You have to make a choice. Am I doing that? Because in the prequels, Ridley made the technology thousands of years more advanced than the technology of Alien, which is supposed to take place in those movies' future. There's something about that doesn't really compute for me. I prefer the retro-futurism of the first 2 films, and so that's the choice I've made. There's no holograms. The convenience of that beautiful Apple Store technology is not available. So he's saying 2 things. One, out with David. Done. But also, not only just that, completely out with the whole aesthetic that those films created. Done. So the bit is retcon. It is being retconned. Now, we don't know whether this is being retconned just for the TV series, because the movie may reference David. This is just a TV show. This may be an Elseworlds TV show. But the movie may reference David because it's set in the future. And then we're at a point where Canon's just completely screwed up. It's all over the place. Those 2 movies were completely redundant, which loads of people rejoice at that. I understand that. But it leaves it open, no idea what's going on. And then this becomes a big mess of a film series timeline, because if some films are referencing it, some aren't. You got to hand it to Fox. At least Fox actually did have someone that managed the canon and lore of Alien and Predator. So anyway, Tom, let's get your thoughts first.
I mean, Why does this? Where does this shit come in with this whole idea of AI being such a big part of this? That was kind of
Yeah.
really only part of the first movie. And Ridley Scott's bullshit. Because as I've said, clearly that's what Ridley Scott wants to do is make a movie about gay fucking robots at this point, because that's all he gives a shit about. Did they forget that what's his face in the second movie was not a bad robot? I just forgot his name, Bishop or whatever.
Yeah, Bishop.
He was
good.
He was good.
Lance Henriksen.
Lance Henriksen, yeah. So what the hell is this crap?
Underrated.
You know, it wasn't until Ridley Scott took over again where AI became a big part of this crap. It's like, I'm happy that they're getting rid of this shit because I like the aliens just as a biological weapon that got out of control of the creator, right? It's an allegory for the nuclear weapon. It makes sense, or biological weapons, however you want to look at it. It always worked better as that allegory. Ridley Scott just needs to stay the fuck away from Alien already. Nobody likes your shit, dude, when it comes to Alien.
Technically, he's not really. Why? I mean, this is Noah Hawley just flagrantly going, we're not going to use what you think, mate, anyway.
And I'm glad. I hope it's good. But isn't this the one that's supposed to be like the one that's set in between movies, or is that the movie?
No. So that's the movie.
Okay.
This is the TV show.
This one actually might have some fucking potential.
Yeah, so it's set about 57 years or something like that in the future from now. It's like the distant future. No, the not too distant future. Something like that. I can't remember the timeline. So I know this. I know the rough story of this for anyone that wants to know. There's two companies. There is the Prodigy Corporation and Weyland-Yutani. Weyland-Yutani, it's essentially set around the Prodigy Corporation and their desire to transplant human consciousness in AI to live on, basically, in synthetic bodies. It's quite an interesting angle. Execution matters, of course, in all of this stuff. But as a concept, it's interesting. Does it work in the Alien universe? I don't know. And essentially what happens is a Weyland-Yutani vessel crash lands in Prodigy Corporation's vicinity. And they're like, that's ours now. Psych. And they go steamrolling in. Lo and behold, looks like there's aliens. It's set on Earth. There's aliens there. There's some concept art of aliens in a forest running around with some military men trying to kill them and stuff like this. There's some fantastic concept art of the crash in sort of big mega cities and things like this. It looks from a visual perspective, it looks great. Like it's bang on. It is the aesthetic of the original Alien. There's even the circle of pods, from the opening of Alien. Does everyone remember the opening of Alien where they're all in those cryostasis pods in a circle? There's that. That's the aesthetic, is that even that's used. It looks really, really good from that angle. But it is centered around humans' consciousness being transplanted into AI. And actually, it's got two characters on top of other characters. But these two main characters is a medic who works for the Prodigy Corporation in their like mercenary forces or whatever. And he believes his young sister is dead. She's not dead. Well, maybe, but not, because her consciousness has been transplanted into a super soldier's body. So it's kind of this like bizarre, disjointed super soldier body, but with the mind of a child. But it's interesting. If you think Prodigy Corporation, I think it's a bit creatively bankrupt because you've got Prodigy Corporation making people, i.e. the prodigal sons. Do you see? See what I did there? See what they did there? It's kind of that. Anyway, whatever. What do you think?
I just want some aliens eating people.
Yeah, and I mean, so basically he's just saying he wants to pick and choose.
No, not really, because he's wiping it completely. The aesthetic is absolutely the original stuff, and he's not. It looks like that. Weyland-Yutani just found some eggs and it crash landed in Prodigy Corporation's vicinity. Basically, it's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah, Forgotten Prime says Alien mixed with the Firefly movie, Serenity or whatever. That's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether maybe, but no, I don't know. No, I think it's from everything. I mean, I'm not doing a great job, and now I'm trying to paraphrase it as quickly as possible so you guys can discuss it. Obviously,
I actually kind of thought Prometheus was interesting. I just think it had some good ideas. But look, I mean, this is one of those that I'm going to be like 50-50. I'm like, I'll give it a shot, see if it's good. I'm not going to, there's nothing to prejudge it on at this point in time, but I was a little taken aback in this because when I read it on Saturday, my takeaway was, all right, so you're going to change up the canon of all of this and take some and throw away others and just the bits you like. And I mean, maybe that could work. But,
one of the more interesting things about the Alien franchise that has not been explored very much, and Donovan brought it up too, that was one of the good things about Alien 3 is that they set up the idea that the xenomorph will combine DNA with whatever the host is, right? So I liked when they come out with the new toy designs and the fact that in Alien 3, yeah, like the whole idea that you have different aliens, and I like, the bull alien, the dog alien, you could have a bunch of different, like, if these, like, think about if you brought aliens to Earth and they were out in some, like, wilderness somewhere, and they imagine the animals that the alien could combine with, like a bear or a deer or, even a wildcat or something like that, just some really cool, neat new designs that we've never really seen before, or callbacks to the Kenner line that we had, right? Like, I just feel like that has never been something that's ever been vastly explored in the Alien universe that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that was a highlight of part 3. Whether you take the dog version or the bull version, it's still a cool new version of the alien. And that is one of my, not my favorite design, but I really do dig that design. Right, the dog alien look, like it's really kind of.
I've got some Kenner recreations up here behind me.
Yeah, I see there. Oh, yep, right behind you there. Yep. So you know what I'm talking about. You know how they like. I think it'd be kind of cool to kind of just see a mixture of aliens, and who cares if you set it in the future? That's fine with me too.
Yeah. Well, that was part of it. It was the DNA combination element, wasn't it?
You can even have like one of the companies testing them and seeing what would be the more vicious creatures to combine them with and stuff like that, and just because you know how they are, they got to see.
Well, I've always maintained that the way to keep the Alien franchise alive is to do different genre transplanting in the Alien universe. So just like what you said there, have a mad scientist movie in the Alien universe, and obviously they all get loose and murder everyone. Cool, there you go, done. Just one and done movie. That's
Gorilla
exciting.
Alien,
cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and then you could do a heist movie. People trying to break into Weyland-Yutani because they think that they've got whatever, but you don't even know what it is yet. And then they get in there.
Yeah, they think they're just stealing some kind of secrets or something.
Loads of cool stuff you could do.
They cause all kind of havoc. That'd be great. I like that idea.
Eggs or something, yeah.
So anyway, Culture, what do you think of all of this? We haven't had your thoughts, I don't think, chap.
I mean, I'm like I said, I'm willing to give it a shot. I mean, this might work. I mean, as you suggest, and from your rough outlines, I mean, it sounds intriguing. I'm interested. But I'm almost always interested in alien films, and I like that idea. I like the Alien versus Predator stuff. I'm the wrong guy to talk to. I like stuff like that. Oh my god. Yeah.
I liked the first one okay, but I hated the second one. The second one was
great. And I agree with the chat. I think a bear alien, an alien bear.
The gorilla alien is what got me. The gorilla alien.
Xenomorph bear.
How do you say that? Gorilla alien?
I think it'd be cool. One of those. Yeah. Can I have one of those?
Yes. But what if one gets a clown? Can you imagine a clown alien?
Oh, that'd be fun.
That'd be scary. Be like, here,
I can't believe you like the AVP stuff.
Sorry.
I don't. I hated the second movie.
I like crazy stuff, man. I loved Cocaine Bear.
When they had the pregnant women in that town, and I'm like, this breaks all like.
That was terrible.
like the aliens should not be on Earth and stuff like that. Like I was completely out of it at that point. And it's so dark you can't see anything anyway. So it was like Zack Snyder directed the damn thing.
Oh my god, I knew that was coming. All right.
And anything further to add? Because it does sound, to me, it does sound.
I do have a
like
little bit
they
more
are.
faith in the movie because Hawley, he's got a bit of a pedigree, right? Like he worked on Fargo and a
Massively.
few other shows. So like, I mean, I know he was a big deal when they got him for Star Trek. He was one of the only ones that made people go, maybe.
But what's encouraging is not only does he have those things, he's outlined a pretty decent idea, which you know, most people
They're shooting already.
That's fantastic. So, okay, I mean, I'm on board. I want to like something. Make something I like, please.
Do you hear that? Culture is on board.
There you go. Wow, that's too many horns. Somebody's horny.
That wasn't even me.
No, it was me.
Very horny.
He's on board, everyone. He's on board.
Yeah, very horny.
Yay.
Anyway, there you go. There you go.